Hi everyone, Scorp here, continuing this Duelist the Roses all cards playthrough where we're just obliterating the game with a very overpowered insect deck, per viewer request. We're going to start with Labyrinth Ruler today. Doesn't really matter who I start with, but he seems like a good target. Now, if you really want to destroy this guy, I recommend putting in the password for like Dharma Cannon and a Cannon Soldier. But I don't think we're going to really have too much of an issue with them anyways. It'll just be slightly slower than that. I could also be using Dimension Hole. Dimension Hole is really nice against this guy too. My opponent played a Jiraigumo, which I don't really want to deal with, so it's just going to get Invisible Wired. I don't feel like waiting 40 turns for it to just kill him, so this is going to be one of those very nice cases where I just have an Invisible Wire and it's just going to mess my opponent's day up. Do not flip this Ancient Tree into face-up defense until that Jiraigumo dies. This is a comment to myself to not do that, because I will be very sad. Because I want to make sure that that thing perishes. My opponent has also played 3 monsters. This is very good for me. Him just spamming monsters means that each of them are technically weak. Because the first one he played is Jiraigumo, so he has 0 summoning power after that. Then each of the creatures after that is like usually about 3s, which 3 summoning power creatures are extremely weak. If he doesn't attack my Eye Armor, I will equip this Pugum. If not, the equip's probably going on a Jiraigumo. Sir, I do not believe that Final Flame is really going to help your cause. Although it's going to let him summon a higher summoning power creature next turn, so that will be good for him. Just push forward a Green Kappa and see what he does. That's about what I expected. Because I moved my Eye Armor to the left, he's not going to move over. And unfortunately for him, Green Kappa is going to finish him. I will make my Pugum bigger, so that makes my Green Kappa be even bigger for more overkill, which is completely unnecessary. But playing 2 and 3 star creatures that are 3,500 beat sticks is pretty broken. Hey, we got a Jiraigumo. So at some point I was expecting to have to come up here and beat this guy to get Jiraigumos. But then we got Reincarnation, which was nice. That was not where I wanted that slot to end up, but oh well. Okay. So, unfortunately, we have another Reincarnation. I think Reincarnation every duel is a little bit excessive. Because you spend as much time doing Reincarnations as you do dueling, especially if you're looking for cards. So again, I'm gonna go find another like 20 deck cost card. and reincarnate it. So be right back again. Okay, well, I found another eye armor, so we can check that off the list of cards that I can even get from reincarnations that are really good. Let's see. I want to check, is Mimicat... Mimicat is a password, so let's try to put that in. It wouldn't surprise me if this password's disabled. There's a couple passwords that are disabled in this mod, and this is a very strong card. But it looks like we can use it. Let's see here. I'm gonna take out a Tears of the Mermaid for this. It puts our deck cost up a little bit, but most of the opponents we've been facing, we haven't really had an issue with deck cost lately. I'm gonna also take out another one and put in one Perfectly Ultimate for right now. I'm sure we're gonna have to take some cards out for Ishizu, but for right now, we're gonna go against Pegasus, and Pegasus is really a person that you want to just go all out against. So, I probably should put in like a Soul of the Pure for this duel. Soul of the Pure, Dianketo, like Goblin Secret Remedy, Gift of the Mystical Elf. All of these are extremely useful cards against this guy, because he, unfortunately, he has the capacity to just use 6 Tremendous Fires and end the game, and I don't think any of us like that. I don't really like dealing with this guy because he does annoying things. I'm gonna do the fusion because it's more cards out of my hand. Also, doing all of these reincarnations, I keep seeing Muka Muka show up. Muka Muka is actually not good in this deck. It is good in a lot of fusion-based decks. This is not really a fusion-based deck, so I'm not going to be going for it. Now, Eye Armor is extremely good in this matchup, because when you put it on Toon Train, its effect increases its strength more than it really should. So you get extra benefit out of it. So I'm going to face up defensive Pugum here. And we're going to put an Eye Armor here. He will see it as a 100 attack creature, and he is going to attempt to blast it. Unfortunately for him, this is actually a 4,000 attack creature, and that is very bad for him. It's a 4,000 attack creature on a field decrease area, so that is a terrifyingly strong creature, and we just killed one of his strongest creatures. All 3 of those are spell and traps, aren't they? Nice. Okay, so we can just walk over the invisible wire. Spellbinding Circle is a bit of a problem, but is what it is. Okay, he did play a monster that time. So we'll flip Pupa. Now we need something to deal with this Spellbinding Circle up here. Well, my best option is to just get rid of it with Maneater Bug. It's kind of reality here. And all of my mods are maturing, which is just excellent news for us. And he has 2 monsters now. This should get him to move before he summons. Rude. Exceedingly rude, sir. Okay, we have to be careful. I don't want my arsenal bug to get eaten by this invisible wire. So we flip it. And I'm going to pass the turn, and then next turn I will move stuff over. Or, he is just going to die. Yeah, all of its monsters are going to lose a ton of stats really quickly. And Arsenal Bug has a very broken ability that ends the game. So we got the Mimicat from him, which is pretty much the only card I wanted, so glad to see that we could get that. We also get a Toon Summon Skull. This is nice. Not getting a 3 in a row, but Spellbinding Circle is also a pretty decent card. I mean, it is technically just a better version of Tears of the Mermaid, but it costs so much more that it's usually not worth playing. Although if you have extra deck cost, you might as well consider it. Let's go ahead and check how low we have to get our deck cost for a Shizu. 900. Okay, that is pretty doable. So we'll go ahead and reincarnate, and we will probably be removing this Mimicat from our deck and then putting both of them back in a little while later. So again, more reincarnation around this 20 deck cost area. I just want more cards that are this deck cost, so be right back. Okay, we ended up getting a Goblin Secret Remedy. Not an amazing card by any means, but it is a pretty good card. We also have an Ancient Jar. Not great for this deck, but it is a very spectacular card. So I put Goblin Secret Remedy in over Mimicat, so we should be able to play against Shizu now. Our deck should be pretty strong against hers, although the Crush terrain is a little annoying for us until we can get an Arsenal Bug to get his attack effect off. We don't need Goblin Fan, but she does have some pretty obnoxious traps named Mirror Wall, so we'll just play that, and now we don't have to deal with Mirror Wall ever again. Especially if she just played a Mirror Wall. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to face up defense this Pupa. Hopefully she doesn't move another step forward, summon in front of her, and attack me, but that wasn't likely. Now, she's dead. Because eye armor's broken. Goodbye. Unfortunately, eye armor is going to die to the Crush terrain, but the damage is already done. The game is over. this right here is a demonstration of why this card is broken. Monster Turtle's pretty good for reincarnation targets. Just like to not get... I'd like to get multiple cards, just so that I could get more cards for reincarnation fodder. Well, that was pretty easy. Ishizu was not usually very hard. I mean, the hardest part of dealing with her is navigating her field. Which, Eye Armor and Green Cap are extremely good on crushed terrain. So we can go up to 1,000, almost 50 for deck cost. I'm going to go ahead and do another reincarnation on Monster Turtle, and be right back. Oh, I'm just grabbing a Muka Muka, since I couldn't find anything I actually wanted. So I'll just have that around just in case I want it. Now, we're going to go ahead and take out a couple of cards, or Invisible Wire at minimum, and what else do we even want to take out of this deck? Our deck is extremely strong right now. Like, I mean, Goblin Secret Remedy is one of the weakest cards in the deck. And it's a good card. I think I take out Dark Piercing Light for double Mimicat. It's hard because, like, everything in the deck is just good. We have an embarrassment of riches in our deck right now. Which is kind of unfortunate for us, but I mean, it's a great problem to have. Now, this guy is not particularly hard to deal with. Especially when you draw like this. This duel is completely and utterly over. This is an Acid Trap Hole. Oh, it is not an Acid Trap Hole, it is a Curse Breaker. My man has lost the game. I'm gonna be honest, I've spent more time doing reincarnations than I have playing the game right now. Goodbye. That was way too easy. There's not really anything in these slots I want, so... Go for 3 in a row with Curse Breaker. There we go. And we get a Karibo. Such a disappointing 3 in a row. Yeah, I definitely spent more time doing that last reincarnation than that duel took. It just so happened that we drew, like, triple Arsenal Bug, though, so, you know, game's kind of over when that happens. Free of pretty close to the strongest monster in the game is pretty unfair. someone asked me to put together a list of all, or to show all of the strongest cards, and I'm like, I already put together top 10 lists for all of those. But I mean, basically every card I put in this deck should just fit in that top 10 list, or in all of the strongest cards. This deck right now has... There aren't really weak cards in it. I mean, the weakest cards are like Petite Moth and Cocoon of Evolution, and Larva of Moth. And when I'm counting Larva of Moth as like a weak card, you know the rest of the deck is all bangers. So it's really ridiculous. Yeah, so I guess we go for another reincarnation here. Let's see. I'm gonna actually reincarnate Forest to try to get a monster reborn, and I'll be right back. This should be easier to get. Well, I'm just gonna take a Soul to Pure. It's not the best card in the world, but I might want it for later, or at some point, so I'll just have it sitting around. And we shall continue. Our goal is... I think our goal today is just to finish off Seto. Seto shouldn't be too hard. Yeah. We don't really want his hidden card, it's just a Blue Eyes Ultimate. Not really anything worth writing home about. Seto should be quite easy. I mean, Blue Eyes are just way too expensive in terms of summoning power to really compete with insects. And that's just unfortunately the reality of this game. Because I'm going to play Larva of Moth as a 2-star 3500 over the course of a couple turns. He just played a Speller Trap, which is kind of annoying. But should be okay without it. I'm going to put a Mimicat right here. Just so he can't move forward and then play top left. Which he doesn't usually play in that order, but I just don't want to deal with that order if he chooses to do it. I'm going to get rid of Goblin's Secret Remedy just because I want to get through my deck a little bit quicker. And because we haven't been drawing any of the cards I really want to draw right now. We already have a Petite Moth, so I will get rid of one of them. I'm just going to put the Maneater Bug in defense and let him lose a creature here. It's a good enough play for me. This did its job. Now we'll just play a Jiraiya. With 2 equips, unfortunately, Kaiba's probably the only person that can really get over that reliably if he wants to play a Blue Eyes Ultimate. But that is what it is. He plays it, he plays it. I'm going to actually play Ancient Tree just to make certain we don't have problems here. Oh, Swordsman from a Foreign Land's not nice. Not a card I really wanted to run into. Oh well. There's a reason we put that card in defense. But... oh well. Just opens up board space for me to do something like this. Which is, unfortunately for him, lethal. I didn't even Mimicat back my Pupa of Moth and play it again. It was guaranteed lethal because of Ancient Tree, so even if he had a Mirror Force, it was over. Which is a shame. Oh, we got the Swordsman from a foreign land. Swordsman is a very good card. If we didn't have 3 Man-Eater bugs on the deck, it might actually see some play. Unfortunately, we have 3 Man-Eater bugs on the deck, which, I mean, that's not really unfortunate. It's really, really, really brokenly good, so... yeah. Kaiba's down. Kaiba's not a terrible threat, usually. He can be annoying. He has some decent cards in his deck, but if you're playing a deck that is as strong as this one, it shouldn't even be close. Now, the final boss, we'll put a second Goblin Fan in the deck, just to make sure that this goes well. I'm going to speed this up because I want to do a reincarnation before the end of this. So, I'm going to put in Goblin Fan, and... So I'll put in a second Goblin Fan. I don't know what I'm going to put it in over. Let's see. We can take out a Monster Reborn for it. And I'm going to do another reincarnation. Hopefully we can find maybe another Jowls or something, but I'll be right back with the results. Well, I grabbed 3 cards. None of these are cards that I'm actually going to put in my deck right now, but 2 of these are really good cards, so I figured I'd just take them. Darkness Approaches and Blast Juggler are pretty good. Needleworm's an insect, so it exists. But that's about gonna do it for today. We got ourselves an ultimate, we got a whole bunch of other cards, so it's a pretty good episode. Thank you all for watching, and have a nice day.